Formula One kicks off for 2022. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix. A whole new era awaits us. It's the first of 23 rounds on this fantastic calendar. The first race here in Bahrain on the 20th of March. Saudi Arabia follows us in 7 days' time. A welcome return to Australia on the 10th of April. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola on the calendar now until 2025 is on the 24th of April. May is a busy one. Miami makes its debut on the 8th of May. Spain on the 22nd. Monaco on the 29th. June, another busy month as well. Azerbaijan the same weekend as the Le Mans 24 Hour on the 12th. Then on the 19th of June, the Canadian Grand Prix gets back on the calendar. The first weekend in July, it's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Note that for your diaries. A week later, in Austria, in Spielberg. The French Grand Prix is on the 24th, followed then by Hungary before the summer break. Then into a triple header. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy at the end of August and into the first few weeks of September. A to-be-announced Grand Prix will replace Russia, quite rightly so, on the 23rd to the 25th. Singapore makes its return to the calendar now until 2027. That's on the 2nd of October. The Japanese Grand Prix follows again of a welcome return on the 9th of October, hopefully for some great racing there. The United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas takes part on the 21st to 23rd of October. Mexico City on the 30th of October before the final two races of the year, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Interlagos on the 13th of November, and it all comes to a close in Abu Dhabi on the 20th of November, just before the World Cup begins. What an exciting season we have in store for us in F1 2022. Night has fallen. It's time for free practice 2 for the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the Bahrain International Circuit for Formula One. A 3.362 mile circuit, 15 turns, 3 DRS zones as well. It's become quite a favourite as the season opener. Important to get a good exit out of the last corner as well. Rise up, down the start-finish straight, you'll be in 8th gear by the time you start the lap. Hurtle downhill towards turn number 1. Slam on the brakes as well, all the way down to 3rd gear at 70 kilometers an hour. Rising up through the kinks at turns 2 and 3, to a left, to a right. Already 6th gear, 200 miles an hour as you open up the DRS. Down now towards turn number 4, 115 kilometers, 3rd gear corner as well. Don't go all 3 wheels over the white line, that's banned. Down through the Gene section as well. Down now, 6th gear, 215 kilometers an hour. Turn 8, heavy braking spot, 3rd gear, 80 kilometers an hour, tight right-hander. Rise up the hill, 2 lefts as well, turns 9 and 10. You turn through turn 9 whilst also braking for turn 10, 70 kilometers an hour down to 3rd gear. Back on the acceleration, time for yet another DRS zone. On the run towards turn 11, you'll be in 5th gear at 160 kilometers an hour, braking down from 8th. Hug the inside line, control the exit speed, don't lose too much time. Now the kink here through turns 12 and 13 as well. Careful not to spin the car. It underserves the bottom of the car as you hurtle through now turn 13. 3rd gear, 150 kilometers an hour. Down the back straight away. Now rising up once again to 8th gear. Going to drop to 3rd gear, 125 kilometers an hour before flat out at the exit. Racing to the 3rd and final DRS point, which is a line across the pit entrance. Now across the line, and that is a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit. And here we go once again then. The daylight has been swallowed up by the twilight and eventually darkness will fall. It's time for free practice number 2 at the Shakir International Circuit, the Bahrain Grand Prix, to open up F1 2022. This amazing circuit's been on the calendar now for 18 years as well. It's provided some of the most classic of the new hybrid era. 3 sectors, a total as well of 5.412 kilometers, 3 DRS zones around this circuit as well, 15 turns. The drivers realistically only feel about 10 of them as well. Elevation changes high as you fall down the sand dune section. Tyre compounds this year, brand new 18-inch wheels. It's the hardest we've got. The white hard C1, the yellow medium C2, the red soft C3 tyre compound as well. And as we look, it looks completely dark now along the start-finish straight. A class of our own is the motto. Air temperature at 17 degrees. Track temperature is at 24 degrees as well. Humidity at 49%. A 2.1 kilometre wind speed as well. It's blowing in from the north. And what a time to be at the circuit. Twilight has fallen. Let's get going with all of the action. Alongside me in the commentary box is Synthel once again from pre-season testing, and the first of many time will be in the box this weekend as well across F2 and F3. Good afternoon, Synthel. Are you looking forward to this? Are you looking forward to this season? I'm looking forward to this season. It's like we're just itching to get going.
I'm really looking forward to this season. Yeah, it's just going to be a great season. I can feel it. It was already pretty close in testing. We saw an unexpected Gasly on P1. I really didn't see that coming. But the Ferraris behind that was a little bit more expected though.
Ferrari to be up there as well. It is always good to see. Leclerc ahead of Sainz as well. We're about 2 minutes to go until the green light goes on. I'm sorry if I'm coming over your screen there because our connections aren't working correctly, so I'm having to use a camera to sync up the pictures. So if you're wondering why there's a tripod in front of me, don't worry about it. It's not for anything else, but make sure we're on the right pictures with me and Synthel up here in the comms box. We've got our radio pressure open as well. Risk of rain is obviously 0%, which is nice to see. And we cannot wait to get going. It's also nice that David Croft and is back in the commentary box as well. And an actual commentary box, not just a windowless commentary box, which is much like ours because our windows are covered up as well behind the monitor. But coming to this one then, Synthel, we had so long of pre-season testing, 48 hours of it. Who's hot and who's not, in your opinion?
Well, from what I think that Ferrari is going to be very quick. And an unexpected maybe Alpine going to be a bit down there because I've only heard some bad things about them. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. You know, Alpine should work. But here we go then for FP2. It's going to be the most exciting. It's usually the most exciting practice session of all. It's obviously the session where they are really trying to know the track, to push to the limit because now it's the right conditions for tomorrow's qualifying and the race, of course.
Of course, absolutely. And now, as you say, night conditions, we're going to begin to push and we're going to really begin to see who's hot and who's not. A lot of work going on down in Lewis Hamilton's car. It looks like they've taken the brake ducts off as well. They're just putting on new wheel covers as well. It's up on the jacks. Hamilton is sitting back. He's not going to head out there when the green light goes on in 22 seconds' time. That is a big surprise. I was under the impression they'd want as much running as possible at night because they had such limited time during testing.
Yeah, and I see that they has got the yellow T-pod camera on top instead of the black one. I thought it was always the black one for the first drive or something.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Also on Mercedes, which I think looked very cool, is that the 44 of Hamilton is colored with yellow and the 63 of Russell with blue, wasn't it?
Yep, blue for Russell, the yellow for Lewis. As the green light is on at the end of the pit lane, we are underway for free practice 2. Cars heading straight out there as well. No idea if our driver tracker's working. We hope it is, otherwise it's going to be pretty useless looking at the bottom there. We got Magnussen popping out there, which is great to see. Hulkenberg still P4. Magnussen's gone out. Sainz, Russell as well, so we'll give it a second to boot up, and then hopefully our driver tracker will burst into life. Lewis Hamilton looks to be climbing into the car, which is great to see. But we're underway for free practice number 2. Always a delight.
How did Hulkenberg do yesterday? Yesterday in FP1, did he struggle or did it go okay?
He went 8th in the early stages and dropped back to 14th, which I thought was a bit disappointing. But it was certainly impressive.
Yeah, I mean it's just his first time in this car so you can't expect too much from him so far. But maybe I hope he's going to do a very well race this time, getting some points. And we're all hoping he's going to get his first podium now.
Let's keep our fingers crossed that he can do, because I've picked him as my pick a winner on the Grid Network show as well. And if he wins, even if he gets a podium, I get 5 points. There's the new timing tower in operation. Are you a fan of the new graphics that we've been seeing so far today as well? I think it's your first time you're going to see them in action, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. I think especially like I have seen a little bit of the graphics already with the red flag. It goes all around it. It's pretty cool. I do think the team radio looks a little bit less well than last year's, but let's try something new. It might work, might not. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I think the radio is a step down on the usual graphic. In fact, that is as well. I can barely read the 55 of Carlos Sainz on
you
that
can also
monitor.
barely read who's in the pits. You see Verstappen, it's really not really looking well. It's very tricky to see.
Hopefully they adjust this as the year goes on. It's a bit like when we first saw the timing tower in 2018 for the previous graphic set now. It changes over and it will change over time. It's all because they moved the dog, the digital on-screen graphic of F1 to the top of the screen there instead of bottom left. So it's changed over. But Sainz, the first one at a time on the mediums.
Yeah, going through the first corner. Turn 2 has been very tricky. We've seen in the last years. Many people going off there for some reason. Going up to turn 4, 2 DRS zones here. And turn 4, the drama of last year here, going wide in the track limits. Are they more strict on track limits now here in turn 4?
Yes, track limits around the entire circuit. The white line defines the circuit now.
Okay, not a curb, so the white line.
Yes, white line.
Yeah.
That's from Niels Wittek, the new race director.
Is he going purple? I can't really
Yes,
see.
it's purple.
More,
It is.
more tricky to see. Maybe it's because it's TV, but it looks like he's going purple. Of course, I think he's one of the first ones to set the lap so far. So
Yeah, it's a 30.147 first sector. Magnussen's gone fastest, a 1:34.572. So already times are below what we saw this morning, which is great to see as they accelerate out of turn 11 and 12. And this is the tricky bit as well, where the rear of the car can bottom out and just fly towards the wall. It's purple second sector for Sainz too.
yeah, he's going to go top. They improve on the time from Magnussen. Also, Russell set a lap. He's slower than Magnussen and Stroll as well.
So too, yeah. So he is 2/10 down on Magnussen's time, a 1:34.860. Here comes Sainz then. Leclerc's fastest first sector, 30.010. Sainz's purple sectors 1 and 2, and now sector 3. He goes top on a 1:33.837. So he's 7 tenths quicker.
Leclerc's also going purple.
Yes, purple sector 1.
How is that possible? Usually it was always, when someone goes purple and the other goes green, but they're both going purple sector 1. So that didn't change.
New graphics, going to take time to get used to this one for sure. As Leclerc hurtles down towards the last corner. As Ricciardo's gone fast sector 1, and now it's all changed over again to Leclerc. Fast sector 1, fast sector 2. Is he fastest of all around the circuit? And testing seems to be proving us right. Ferrari 1-2, Leclerc ahead of Sainz by 7 tenths of a second. And
that's a big gap.
And Sainz himself is 7 tenths ahead of Ocon, so it's 1.4 separating the top 4 drivers right now. That's insane.
But it's only the first laps. We've just started, of course. Gonna change over this session. It's pretty busy on track.
Yeah, and the driver track is still not working correctly, so that's really annoying. Hopefully it'll pop in at some point. Everyone is saying that the map's not working on the timer, which is great to see. I've just
I have a driver tracker of my own, which it does work, and I've synced it with the live TV you've sharing with me, so that's perfect.
Yeah, I desperately need a new driver tracker, I think, for the year. It's not working that well, but we have got another one on the app, which is showing us where they are as well. I think we've got some other ones coming through. We've got no team radio coming through, which is really annoying at the moment. So it looks like the graphics, it wouldn't be a start to the year without FOM's graphics not working in some way, shape or form. So take it as you can. Here's Yuki Tsunoda. No longer the rookie, now starting his second season in Formula One, down towards turn 1, looking quite quick. As we've lost timings. That's great news.
Oh. Well, we can see the timing on the screen. Well, not the people at home, of course, but we can. So it's a Ferrari 1-2 so far still. They're not showing the interval, they're showing like the actual times for everyone. With Bottas in 7th. He didn't have a set a lap time in FP1.
No, an engine problem for Bottas kept him in the garage. They managed to get him out for some laps later on, but wasn't a great one. Martin Brundle, though, first of all, is down at turn 4. Let's have a listen into Martin.
I'm on the inside of turn 4, really nice spot, one of my favourite of the year, and very challenging actually for the cars and drivers in here, because there's a really strong crosswind coming up the straight from turn 3, and as they turn in, we'll watch the Alpine go through here now, and you can see the drivers really struggling to keep the car inboard of the racetrack as the wind is cutting across. And the track falls away. We got a lock up there from the Alfa Romeo. The track falls away from you, and you can really see testing of the rear grip as they go to the outside of the corner. They pick up the throttle, and the back of the Ferrari there just complaining. The drivers are being so cautious, and they're trying to just keep going on the throttle without loosening off the rear axle as they go through the crosswind. But we talk about this session being extremely representative, don't we, because it's the time of day and what have you. It's properly cold out here. It's as if we're at Silverstone, to be honest. Do you need to come back in, Crofty?
Not at all, Martin. No, sorry.
Somebody.
We're having problems with Martin.
Some cars going quite slowly through at the moment. But what really strikes me, actually, having stood up here on day 1 of the test last week, is just how much better the cars are. The really good quality work all these teams managed to do. But the drivers are more accurate. They're not clouting the inside curb. They know it's going to unsettle the car. They've got to be more precise. They've got to be smooth. And they've also got to hustle a little bit, as once again we see Carlos Sainz there. And surprisingly, the traction on the Ferrari not looking good at this point. But,
at this point, Martin's saying... Okay, Martin's going back to us because we can't hear, unfortunately. I know Cynthia was hearing that, but we're having problems on our side.
Oh.
Which is...
Well, I heard it, of course. It was about the wind, wasn't it? It was very cold there, apparently. Are the temperatures gonna rise Sunday, or is it also gonna be cold?
Great news is that the air temperature is going to rise indeed coming into the weekend as well. This weather, the really bad wind, is only going to last today and the morning part of tomorrow. So it'll be difficult for the F3 guys out there for their sprint race. Other than that, it's going to be right okay.
All right, so a bit different conditions compared to the race for now. If you look on board with Esteban Ocon, he's going to lock up a wheel in turn 1. It's a slow corner, hard braking into the radio.
Yeah, we're on the limit of bouncing. I can feel it in the straight.
Okay, mate. Copy that.
So that's the porpoising.
So we're okay.
Porpoising.
Yeah, we're on the limit of bouncing on the straight, so it's bad. It's getting worse, and it caused a problem this morning where their side pod blew off. That caused the first red flag. So,
but I don't think that's porpoising though, because we saw I think I saw in Formula 3 there are just bumps there. It's not just porpoising. There are also bumps at the end of the straight.
So there are bumps down the start-finish straight on this track then.
Yeah, on the end of where you saw them bounce, that was actually on the. I think there were bumps there. I'm not really sure, but on Formula 3 we saw. I don't think the Formula 3 cars are porpoising, are they?
Great news to hear then that it could just be the bumps. They've got the bumping.
There's a little bit of porpoising, nothing too bad. It's just starting.
Yeah. Magnus on the
okay,
radio.
understood, Kev. Thank you.
Magnus on the radio there, immediately telling us what we just been talking about. Magnus is saying there's little bits of porpoising, which is great news. That they've got that under control for once. Okay.
Verstappen's going purple sector 1 a little bit faster than Leclerc. I think it was only 17 thousandths of a second. But that could change in the end of the sector 2. After turn 12, I think the end of sector 2 is. So we can see how much he's going to improve. Is he going to be faster than the Ferraris, both on the mediums? Coming through turn 11. Tricky there because we've seen in testing going a lot wide there. Onto the curbs and coming to the end now, and it's going slower.
4/10 down on the own best time. First sector, Verstappen at 29.993. Leclerc was at 29.997. So get your fingers out, count on that, how much it was between the two of them. 4 thousandths of a second in that first sector. Verstappen will cross the line and takes it to second. 5 tenths
still
off.
far. And Sainz, the gap was 7 tenths, of course. So he was yeah, similar first sector, but it lost it to the final 2 sectors as we look at Lewis Hamilton now.
And Radio Hamilton.
To get the time out of.
So they're still bouncing a lot.
Okay, copy.
It's still
and I think
bouncing a lot, is what he's saying out there on the circuit. So Hamilton still having problems with that porpoising effect, or porpoising. He's got a 1:34.379 at the moment on his sector time, so big thumbs up there on the board.
Yeah, it's not going to only be the bumps there. It's going to be the porpoising, of course, too. They still need to try and fix that, or at least just make it reduce it, because it's going to possibly even hurt the car, and obviously it's not going to be very comfortable for the driver.
So they're still bouncing a lot.
Just hearing him again.
Okay, copy.
Just heard it again on the PLC. Well, it's gone now.
Oh,
actually,
he's gone.
PLC. Oh, he's locked up into the 1.
Yeah, a bit wide as Russell exits the pits now, I think.
Yeah, Russell's just coming back out onto the track again. And I think we've got access to some form of driver tracker, hopefully working soon, as we've got a replay of Hamilton on the inside, locks up a little bit on the inside front right, and just lost it a couple of times there. That's not great, actually, because he's on a longer run than the rest of the field.
Yeah, managed to keep it within the lines though, but I don't think that FIA should, look at track limits. Oh, that's a big smoke.
Big.
One of the McLarens. It's going to be Ricardo.
And that is,
Locked up.
yeah. So Ricardo, who's the only one out on the track, because Norris still in the pit lane, with big smoke down at turn 1.
If you'd like another go.
And the Verstappen radio.
Nobody really going quicker on second push laps. Up to you there, Max.
Yeah, I will go again because turn 1 was terrible. I just had a lot of oversteer.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, Verstappen complaining of a lot of oversteer down to turn 1 and saying it's up to you if you want to go for another lap. He has gone for that second lap. Leclerc comes into the pit lane, so does Sainz as well. So the 2 Ferraris coming in back together again. But Perez down in 20th, no time set at the moment. He did 23 laps this morning in practice 1. It's time for him to head out onto the track. He's going out of centre of the C2 tyre compound as the mediums as well. Everyone going to start doing their race pace as we take a break on Sky F1.
So Verstappen was complaining about turn 1 apparently. Well, the first sector was the only one where he matched Leclerc. So, he's going to go even faster possibly if he nails that first corner now.
Yeah, and it's very bizarre as well that he was so slow in sectors 2 and 3, where in testing, that's where he mainly had the better advantage, was in the second and especially the final sector. It suited the Red Bull more, the blast down the back straightaway from 13 to 14. So I'm very worried about that Red Bull if it's not having problems, and if it's having it in the first sector. First sector for Verstappen was a 30.185, so he's off the pace again to Leclerc's 29.997. As we take
The
a look.
Ferrari found something better.
Driver track is nearly working, by the way, I've been told. So it's getting there, which is great news. We've been told the map will be working for the race, but we need it working for the other sessions, which is kind of important, people. If not, then at least it'll be working for the race on Sunday when we launch the F1. Reminder, we've got so much on this weekend. We've got the Formula 3 sprint race tomorrow morning, and in the afternoon, the Formula 2 sprint race. Sunday morning, we go from F3 feature to F2 feature to F1's Grand Prix. Then also we've got the MotoGP Grand Prix from Mandalika, the Indonesian Grand Prix. That's 6:30 UK time in the morning, so it's an early start. It's an early night as well for everybody back home in the UK. And I'd also like to point out that we don't know what we're doing at the moment with IndyCar due to the fact that its green flag time is supposed to be right at the end, literally the checkered flag moment of Formula 1. So it might be that IndyCar for this race is a highlights race that gets broadcast during the week, and we'll be back live for Long Beach in a few weeks' time. But we'll make it up to you with some great F2, F3 as well, because we've got 3 Brits on the first 3 positions for tomorrow's sprint race, which is going to be great. And I know Synthol, that a certain Dutch driver is doing really well in junior categories, especially in the Formula Alpine series. And he's rumoured to be going up to Formula 3 by the time we get into the European stage of the season. So that's great news for you.
I haven't heard about that one, to be honest. As I see, Tsunoda has gone up to 6th. A good lap.
So continuing the pace he had this morning, where you told me just before we came on air, he finished P9, so it's a 1:34.408 for Tsunoda.
Gasly's still down in 12th, though.
Yeah, so Gasly was the one who was topping this morning's session. Now he's dropping down on the board, so got to keep that one together. You
There's
found
a lock-up for Schumacher. I don't know if you can see the pictures now. You can't, right?
No, one advert on here in the UK.
Well, I got a bit of a delayed one, but I see now there's Schumacher locking up in turn 1. So now I'm the one having to give you a little bit of updates about what's happening on the track.
Turn 8 and 10 with the left toggle was okay?
It was better.
It was a toggle switch.
Yep, watch Tsunoda 2 behind. Do you think you need something like left toggle for turn 1? Which is just giving us more brake shape?
I could imagine that it would be good. I mean, right now I'm just struggling with blocking, really.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's holding me back.
Hang on, don't show it, don't show it, don't show it, don't show it. You're on TV, you're getting stopped. Don't show it.
I didn't think about it.
Might just get away with that one. Perez has had a problem in the middle part of the sector. Down into turn 8. Oh, he's locked up on the inside front right.
Oh.
That's a little bit of a lock-up.
It's the corner where he spun in testing.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Well, the embarrassing spin, wasn't it, when it caused the red flag?
Yeah, that was really silly. Now, it wasn't really the spin that was that silly. I mean, it was typical slow spin behind the virtual safety car, but then he just rolled it back into the gravel.
The actual car balance is pretty good.
Albon saying that the car balance is actually pretty good. Sergio Perez is out there on the C2 tyre compounds, as you can see. Out there, as I said, on the mediums. He's off in Sector 1 a lot. Down in 20th place, though. Sergio Perez said this morning in the driver's press conference and in the media pen that this season he has to start well. He has to completely go for it in order to even attempt a hope at the championship. Synthol, do you think Perez could be a world champion, or has that ship sailed and he's got to play number 2 to Max?
Well, I don't think he's going to be champion with Max Verstappen next to him, to be honest. And that's going to take a while for Verstappen to leave, I think. Because he's there until 2028, as we see Perez and Hülkenberg and Stroll are right on track now as well.
Yep, and Perez is into the last corner now. He's up in Sector 2.
I think if we aim for only first place, I think we can keep this because it was already on the nose. And first place in this compound. What do you think? In general, I would say medium and high speed.
So that's Tsunoda just saying about
you
right
will
height.
see me corner on the steer in the medium to low.
Yeah, right height then just for Yuki Tsunoda as Perez went to P5, a 1:34.300. Let's take a look at Alexander Albon, and I think he's locked up too, Synthol, down at turn 1. That's, what, 3 cars in as many minutes?
No lockup, actually.
What's he done there?
There you
go,
in turn 2, yeah. But how did Bottas get up to 4th there? I see he's very well up there.
Oh, yeah.
In the Alfa Romeo.
He's jumped right up, 1:33.970 on the board. 20 minutes gone, 40 to go, and we're watching Super Sub Nico Hülkenberg out on the track. He's number 27 is his racing number, remember? No one else has taken it, which means it remains his. And as he heads down the start-finish straight, is this the starter lap time? I think it is. Yes, it is, because he hasn't actually done one so far. So Hülkenberg on a lap time. Oh, Martin Brundle is down at turn 10 to spoil our fun.
I'm down at turn 10 where we see them cascading down the hill from 9. When I was here during the test, 1 in 3 cars that arrived here were locking up their inside front tyre. I haven't seen a single car lock a tyre yet. I think it's because they're coming down into a headwind that's helping them quite a lot in terms of getting the car slowed down. No doubt they've tuned the cars up a little bit. This place looks absolutely beautiful. There are the grandstands over there from turns 2 and 3. The tower here for the drag strip, the Royal Tower up there in blue, and a little bit to the left as we follow the Aston Martin through. the F2 pit lane and grandstand, and this is a great little spot to be. But we'll analyse a car coming through shortly. And here we have Lance Stroll. Well, that was good. Car carried a lot of speed through the apex. And what you can see as they exit this corner, traction's key there. You can hear the tyres spinning up a little bit as they're just trying to adjust to torque control and getting a feel for where the grip is. No traction control, of course, on these cars, just like there's no ABS, for example, either. It is, the drivers have got to drive them. But as they sort of head out past the DRS zone there, we'll look at a car when it comes around. You can just see the ground effect start, the aero and the ground effect start to work, and they kind of hunker down and hoover up the track as they head down there. And I can hear loads of cars over there. Presumably one of them will turn up in a moment. But it is, yeah, it's a wonderful spot to be able to sort of almost, you feel like you can get in there and be with the drivers, but you can also see if there's a lot of understeer, because these tall tyres that they have on the front now as the Alpine comes through. The tall tyres on the front and the wheel brows, mud guards, call them what you like, turn obviously with the wheel, and it gives you a feel, a really clear feel as to whether or not they've got understeers, whether they're pushing across the track. And we heard Andrew Shovlin of Mercedes-Benz saying he thought there might be more tyre degradation, maybe more pit stops with these tyres. We certainly don't want a no pit stop race where they go from start to finish and the tyres are bulletproof in that respect, I would say. But you get a real feel now with the geometry they have. And it was being explained to me in the week that they have a lot of anti-dive. You don't want the front of the car going down under braking like a motorbike does, for example, to load the front contact patch, because they've got the aerodynamics to do that. You want to try and keep the platform as level as you can for the ground effects. And those extreme geometries on the suspension and the anti-dive can make the cars very prone to locking up and then difficult to get the wheel to unlock again. We will see that during the race, but while they've got decent tyres on them and there's headwind into here, I think it's helping them a lot. So sounds a bit quiet out there. I'm going to move on, Crofty.
So we've just seen some great laps, Synthor, because Nico Hülkenberg went P5, then he's dropped down to 8th, but Kevin Magnussen is gone 2nd, a 1:33.183, 0.062 off of Leclerc. Have Haas really been sandbagging that much? Have they made that much of an improvement? Soft tyres, so C3s, but that's great for Magnussen.
Well, they haven't been sandbagging, of course, because in testing they were up on top as well.
They were?
Obviously, they're on the softs compared to the mediums of the most of them, but still, it's pretty crazy. He's still faster than Alpine of Ocon.
I'm struggling to believe F1 2022. We are only an hour and 25 minutes in to a session like this. Across it.
Sainz gonna go for a quick lap now on the softs. That's gonna be interesting.
Here we go, turn 4, down to 80 miles an hour, third gear corner. Oh, look at Norris. Norris is quick, sector 1, but fastest of all, sector 2.
Oh, yeah. Sainz 2 tenths faster.
Right.
It's going to be a brilliant lap.
Game on for the championship then. We haven't even seen Mercedes and Red Bull probably pushing yet. Here comes Lando Norris across the line in the McLaren. He jumps to 3rd on a 1:33.280. And he's 0.16 down on the pace. As here's Sainz coming up to sector 2 with the DRS wide open at over 185 miles an hour.
Yeah, so one corner more to go to see how fast he's going through the middle sector. It's going to be a great lap. He was already in P2 in Ferrari and going 3 tenths faster than Leclerc.
So Ferrari's pace looked genuine. Now, Leclerc's done his time on the C2 tyre compound, the medium. Sainz is doing his on the C3 tyre, the softest compound we have available to us. And he's looking quite quick. Oh, awful wheels. Alonso! Where did that come from Fernando?
Oh, right. He's got to 1st and Sainz 2nd. Wow. I was thinking the Alpine were going to be slow this year, and he's going top, proving me wrong. Also with Ocon, but Sainz did make a mistake in the final corner, going onto the curb and pushing him in wide, and it also cost him his lap time.
Somewhere Megan Birch has literally just collapsed. Fernando Alonso, 132.877, is fastest of all right now by over a tenth to the two Ferraris in the Alpine. Schumacher goes 5th. That confirms to me that Haas has got some serious pace. 133.254. Leclerc quick sector 1. Over to you, Synth.
Leclerc is going faster indeed. He's going purple sector 1. Can he, by the way, I've just seen that when Ocon went fast sector 1, it did go purple and then turn green. So they did fix that luckily a little bit. So we can see Leclerc now. He was already fastest. Now he's now 3rd. Can he get a good lap in on his softs now?
Down now. He's up by 0.5 of a second in that sector. So it's looking good there. Just realised that the tripod's not actually right, so I'll fix that for you. But this is looking, again, ace for Leclerc as they come out now to the line. Is it quick, all 3 sectors? He's on this soft compound tyre. That's the C3. So this will be match for match time with what Alonso's done as well. And he's 0.6 faster. 132.263. That is pace in that Ferrari.
Incredible. That's a big gap. 0.6 to Alonso and to Magnussen. Schumacher's 5th actually time, by the way. The two Haas's up there with Norris behind in McLaren.
Well, where do you look for F1 this season as well? We haven't even seen the two Mercedes set competitive lap times. Hamilton's down in 15th place. Russell is down in 18th. So there's still a long way to go there in order to find out what's going to happen next. But Gasly looking fast as well. Fast sector 1, fast sector 2 with personal bests. He's going to jump up from P19 and goes P9. 1.3 seconds off the pace. It's a 133.621. I don't like that, actually, the new graphics. They disappear too quickly. You can't read them enough. They need to sort that out. As Hamilton replay, what's he done? Down towards turn 1. He's not...
Maybe the porpoising. You can see his head bouncing.
Oh, yeah. That's not great.
A lot. Are moving out of the way into turn 1. Not lock a wheel. No. Yeah, a little bit.
Slightly on the... Yeah, left-hand side again. You've got great eyes for that. I didn't even spot it. But, yeah, that's not great at all then, as Hamilton, again, on those quick runs on the C3 tyres. So... Yeah,
as soon as he turned it, started locking up. Paris going for a quick look on the softs. Now we can see a first real Red Bull fast lap. Ooh, bit deep in turn 1 maybe. Going through the second corner now. What can he do? Oh, no, he's on the softs. It says medium down there, but he's on the soft tyres.
Graphics wrong. What a surprise. As they come through. Yeah, he's on the soft C3 tyres, and he's just about inside the line there.
That was very close in turn 4. And what can he do? We're not going to see the times now. That's also a bit annoying. I want to see if he's improving or not. Is he not?
Sector 1 for Perez is a 30.029, so it's a personal best so far. Not fastest of all, but he is improving from where he is down in 15th position. The track getting very busy out there. Second sector, Schumacher setting personal best everywhere as well.
Oh, wow, he's already up to 6th. Now he can't even get there. He only needs to do like 2/10 to get up to P4. The Ferrari, Perez was an AlphaTauri a little bit in the way. And to the middle sector, quite a lot slower Ferrari. Yeah, that's 6/10. It could be around P3. But that is a lot. That is really a lot.
7/10 of a sector down as well as they come through. Right, here's Perez into the last corner. Boots it hard. Schumacher 5th, 133.085. Perez goes across, goes 4th, 132.958. So Bottas has gone 3rd. We missed that one. 132.951 for Bottas. Well,
wow,
yeah.
An actual lap on the softs, just like Perez, and he's always faster than a Red Bull. That's quite insane. The Haas up there, what is happening over here? It's incredible.
The pecking order changes once again for F1 in 2022. We've only done 90 minutes. We've got another half an hour to go of this second practice.
On the graphic, it says Russell's an outlap on the mediums, but on the app, it says he's on the softs. So I suppose he's on the newer softs. Maybe it says mediums because his fastest lap was on the mediums. So I know there's Verstappen on the softs too. He's got purple sector 1.
Oh, yes. 29.376. He's a 10th up in sector 2 as well on Leclerc's time. Yeah. But he's not
He's going faster than Leclerc over here. Green middle sector, but still enough for him to be faster than Leclerc. Is he going to gain enough to the final sector. If he loses a tenth, he's going to be at least P2. If he goes faster, then he's going to get up to first.
Cross the line.
And yeah, wow, 3 tenths.
1:31.936 on that soft tyre. Great run there from Verstappen. So Hamilton and Russell, the only 2 drivers not to set a lap time on the soft compound tyre, and they are the last ones to really lock in what the pecking order is. But right now, it's looking great for Haas, because by my calculation, they'll still be inside the top 10. So Haas have jumped to mid. Yeah, Haas have jumped to midfield.
Russell though? On the it's Hamilton. Sorry, he's got a yellow cap, of course. Both improving, not purple sectors for the Mercedes, which is unusual if you're looking over the last 8 years. So now, is he gonna go through the middle sector? Lewis Hamilton.
Here it is, top of the hill at 13. He's 9 tenths down. That's going to put him just ahead of Alonso. And Russell's actually going faster than Hamilton. So Russell's,
So here's going to go Lewis Hamilton through the final corner. Can he improve some there, or is he going to lose even more? Then it could even be behind the 2 Haases. And he's going up to
8th.
Splits the Haases, in effect.
And what's Russell across the line, just behind? He's 20. Oh, third. Yeah, third.
Oh, third. Okay.
Wow. That is. These are not sandbag times. These are genuine times. And.
Oh, Leclerc improving. Where is he at? Oh, second, sorry.
Yeah,
couldn't find him. So
he's not used to being this high up. He's got altitude sickness.
Yeah. So can he get the time off Verstappen? I'm not sure how much he's improving. He's quite a lot, 3 tenths behind.
Oh,
a half a tenth slower than Verstappen. Can he find that half tenth through the final sector, and he can get back up to first?
And a snap of oversteer as well, just out of turn 13, so that might cost him a bit. Into turn 14 then, drop down, 4th gear corner, he's taking in, usually it's 3rd.
Oh.
Back on the accelerator, can Leclerc gain any time? Crossed it now, does improve.
Less than a tenth behind Verstappen. The gaps are close, it doesn't look to be one team dominant so far. It's going to be very close between. For now, it looks for Red Bull and Ferrari. The Mercedes a bit too far down from what we're used to.
Let's listen.
Some sort of problem with front brakes and right front pulling.
Okay, Roger, we're looking into it.
So some sort of problem with the front brakes. Right front is pulling. So that might explain.
Let's hope it's that issue that causes him to be down in 9th, and if that's fixed, that he can be back up there. Otherwise, they do have an issue with Mercedes.
And I think I speak for everyone that says we want as many teams as possible right at the front of the field this season. Let's take a look at his porpoising effect. You know, it's bumpy, as Sintel said earlier on in the broadcast, but he locks up there. That's not bumping. That's proper porpoising while under braking as well. So
yeah.
That's bad. They've got to get a grip on that. That helmet, though, makes it easy to spot Lewis Hamilton under the night's light here. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's not bumps indeed. That's porpoising. At the end of the lap, I thought it was bumpy, but I'm not sure, to be honest. But this is a lot indeed. It's a lot of porpoising for the Mercedes, which still seems to be an issue. As we see Leclerc now. Not going on a fast lap, though.
He's done 12, and I think he's done 3 on these tyres, so he's going to have to wait. Let's take a look at the corner speed analysis between Verstappen and Leclerc. Verstappen is fastest by 0.15 of a second, so that is quite close between the two.
That's through turn 4. Turn 4 is that?
Yes, through turn 4, so just at the exit was the run down through the sand dune section. That's impressive. You can see on the track map here as well.
Actually, that's over 10 faster. That's quite a lot, to be honest, for Verstappen. For turn 4, it's maybe a tricky corner with the track limit. Of course, you need to try to maximize. But if you go a bit too much wide, your lap is removed.
As pit stop practice going on now for Leclerc, comes back in. 25 minutes to go of this second practice session for the Grand Prix of Bahrain. This is Pierre Gasly into turn 4. Locks it in. There's a Red Bull in front of him. Does he go all forward to the track? Yes, he does.
Oh, that was close. Really close.
I think that was with Sergio Perez as well, because Verstappen's been in the garage for a while, so that's not great. Yuki Tsunoda on a slow lap. He hasn't gone for a spin, has he? Because I can see some dirt on the tyres.
Couldn't see it.
No, we would have
So-
had yellows.
He was already going wide, of course. I would have track limits. I thought it was the replay because he was going wide, but he nearly hit the back of the Red Bull there. That could have been very, very nasty. So the Red Bull was just slowing down on the apex. Probably didn't even notice there was an AlphaTauri right behind him. Is this Yuki? Or is this?
This is Yuki. Yeah, this is Yuki
Oh.
Tsunoda.
So Yuki has the yellow cam. Okay, I need to get used to it a little bit. So they're swapping things now.
You're right, they've all swapped it as well. It's quite hard to tell who's who. Right, who's out the circuit? Bottas, Norris, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, and Latifi are the drivers out on the circuit right now. Everyone else back in the pit lane. As
Williams
Martin,
not looking very good so far. Both down again. That's not what we want to see.
Martin Brundle is down at turn 12.
Different types of corner now. And the message and the story is that as we see the McLaren go through there, this 90-degree right-hander absolutely Harry flatters. And the Alfa Romeo just came through there and upshifted halfway through the corner, and they just follow the white line around the inside with utter confidence and belief. But the story is there are no bad cars out there, whether it's under braking, turn in, whether it's traction zones or high-speed areas. We do expect these cars to be faster in the fast corners and slower in the slow corners, a bit heavier, and they haven't got the downforce that they perhaps used to have in the slow corners till they get the ground effect really working. And they're all going through here absolutely beautifully, I must say. But some drivers are able to just ride the curb on the inside on their hot laps with total confidence. The car's not moving at all. The corner's just over 90 degrees actually, completely unsighted as you climb the hill. And I can hear something coming our way now as we see them come into view, hanging around the outside of T11, see Williams, and also upshifting in the middle of the corner as they got so much grip. And the Aston, as he turned the wheel, almost sort of leaping into the corner there. The AlphaTauri is going well, we know. You can see that the cars are sparking like crazy because they're getting the under tray. That's why they're so stiff on the suspension, getting the under tray as close to the ground as they can. I haven't seen anything like porpoising up here. The Mercedes was porpoising through here, bouncing through the testing. Haven't seen anything like that as Lando goes through there. And you can hear the engine just dull a little bit as the lateral loads go into the car. Now the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri with the Red Bull powertrain, former Honda engines, they're quite crackly. If they ever do have to lift off the throttle, I guess it's when they're running really super lean or something. Really crackly. The only engines that do that, everything else is lean and clean and absolutely. Obviously, the Alpine. I keep thinking of that as a Force India or a Racing Point in that colour. Every time you see it, you instinctively think of that. But yeah, so the cars look superb to drive through these fast corners, Crofty.
Martin Brundle down trackside as well as Carl Sainz goes over.
You can see it as I saw it on my screen. There was a little graphic which showed a painful stat now for that the gap between Norris and Ricciardo is nearly 9 tenths. Is Ricciardo going to be again back down there, or is he going to be close to his teammate this year? Hopefully he is, but it doesn't look like it so far.
How much of that is... sorry, you have to say that again, since the mic wasn't working on the TV feed. So say that once again.
Yeah, so there was a little graphic on the screen which said the gap between the two McLarens is nearly 9 tenths. Ricciardo is down in 18th with Norris in 11th, and that's quite a big gap. We saw them last year. There were a big difference between Norris and Ricciardo, but now it seems like it's the case too.
How much of that is due to the fact that Ricciardo is coming back after having COVID? So he missed that entire previous test.
Yeah, that's true, of course. Let's hope he's going to get close to his teammate, because we're not hoping him to be back down it again. And talking about COVID, Vettel is going to miss out his first race, and that could cost him a lot, missing the first race and quali, and he's not going to have the full car, the actual car with to be able to do a full quali run. He's going to miss that out. He's going to do that hopefully next week in Saudi Arabia as he's recovered from COVID. But now we got Hulkenberg in that car.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. If Vettel couldn't be in the car, I would have Hulkenberg in it as well. But if Vettel, for some reason, can't drive next weekend, I would really hope Aston Martin consider putting in Jessica Hawkins, who's a fantastic W Series driver and touring car driver, and just a driver in general. She will be absolutely fantastic in that car. So I hope they at least consider it. As Martin Whitmarsh, the Group CEO of Aston Martin, down in the pit lane with the super sub Nico Hulkenberg. And I put a tweet out, actually. Hulkenberg, Hulk is in green for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. That's great. By the way, Sainz just went up third from P7 on the softs. But that's funny. That's Hulkenberg, the Hulk, in the green Aston Martin now. Last time it was in the pink Racing Point. Wasn't it? No, was he?
It was, yeah. At Eiffel Grand Prix.
Already 2 years ago, by the way. That's still need to get used to it again. Looking okay. He's now going to go for a quick lap on the mediums.
And this is down now on the circuit as Zach Brown looking on with Danny Ricciardo. Danny Rick just waiting in the garage as Sainz's time, by the way, is a 1:32.520. So he's half a second off the pace of what's happening with Verstappen at the moment. Oh, and that's not good news, is it? Ricciardo's car up on the jacks with the floor coming off. So that's goodbye for Ricciardo in this session. He loses more track time, Sid. That's impossible.
Hopefully he's going to be able to do another push lap at the end of this race, of the session, right at the end. They're usually always doing one of those quali runs at the end of the session. By the way, Verstappen is back out on possibly new softs.
Checking. Yeah, brand new softs.
And did you see the graphic right there? It said the gap to Paris 1.022 seconds.
Blimey.
And he's going to pit now.
Apparently, this graphic set that you're seeing here was also available for pre-season testing somehow. So I'm very disappointed we didn't get that. Coming through as well, on the board that we were on about, Verstappen's come straight into the pit lane to do a practice start, so he's not going to do anything, as there's a Ferrari coming out behind him as well. Oh, and we go to an ad break. That always works. I don't know if you've got TV pictures, but I can press P, and I can take you off screen, Sid. So if you want to put your screen on so that me and you can see the same screen, I can take you off the YouTube thing now.
That's so...
No, as I can take you off the YouTube thing now. Literally the saviour at the moment. Oh, he's pressed pause. Well, nearly. As the car said out.
See Hamilton now going for a run. It is a bit delayed though, so...
no worries.
Yeah.
So here's Lewis Hamilton then. If you're watching along with us, we're slightly delayed, but...
We just close the window real quick.
What time are we on? 15:52. We're only around about 10 seconds delayed, so that's not bad at all. As Hamilton passed turn 4 as well, just keeping up the accelerators, and hopefully as well, this will be a great season for Lewis Hamilton. He's won here previously 3 times as well in the last 3 years, which is even better. 2019, 2020, and 2021 all went his way as he hurtles down now. Does he lock the brake into turn 9? He looked a little bit out of stable there.
Well, it went right from what I think I saw. Well, obviously, it doesn't look like Mercedes has the dominant car of the last era. So winning again is going to be a little bit more difficult for Lewis this time. As Russell goes for a quick run too now on the softs before the moment.
So just a reminder for you, the lap record here is a 1:31.447 in the race set by Pietro Della Rosa. Right now, Verstappen's on a 1:31.936, so we're getting tantalisingly close to breaking the race lap record that was set back in the V10 era, and these are supposed to be slower than the V10 era cars. I wonder who's actually telling porkies as Hamilton circulates now again.
What is the gap to the left?
Gap between who?
Verstappen and the track record.
Verstappen's a 1:31.9, and the lap record is a 1:31.4, so round about 0.5.
That could be very possible in qualifying. You know, it's only half a second. I mean, I think they can improve that from queue from this session to. Oh, there was a plastic bag where Verstappen just ran over. But yeah, I think they can improve that half a second.
Just checking if I've got the pole time written down to see what that one is, because they're two different lap times, which is always great to see. I don't have the pole time written down, but I do know where I can find it. It'll be in my little book of my notes up here in the comms box, which is always great to have. I haven't got the new one yet by Bruce Jones, so there you go. Fastest lap record for pole position is a 1:27.264 set by Lewis Hamilton. So we're still off the pace there. Handy having that book, actually. I forgot I had this in the back of the box. Because it's got all the wrong data on, you see.
It looks very busy on track at the moment.
Yes,
everyone. Obviously, Ricardo, Albon is not track, and Sainz. Nope, Sainz neither, nor Tsunoda. Four drivers still in the pits, everyone else on track.
Great to see. As well, so many cars out there. We're finally back with the TV pictures up here in the comms box on Sky, so I can press Synthel back on TV pictures, which is great to see. We're watching Mick Schumacher enter turn 1, P8 at the moment, on a 1:33.085. Now, Hamilton's 9th, Russell's 4th, so I would say that this is actually the pace, and well done for Kevin Magnussen. Hasn't driven a Formula 1 car in 15 months, and he's P10 in this second practice session after just a day and a half of running in the car. That's insane.
Yeah, that's only a 10th behind his teammate Schumacher, so that's really great from him. You know, you can see what a great driver he actually was, because we never got to see full potential in that 2020 Haas car and everything before. So let's see if he can be up there this time in the new, hopefully better Haas, maybe in the be able to find in the midfield. Like we saw in 2018, for example, when the Haas was a lot better than last year.
Would really love to see Haas get a podium. Would really love to see Schumacher on the podium as well. But I'll happily take Kevin Magnussen as well. Last podium for him, I believe, was in Australia. His only podium would be Australia 2014 as well.
Yeah.
When he finished second in that race. Well, technically
That's
third.
incredible.
Yeah, technically third, wasn't he? But he was second on the board.
So that current tires isn't true. Maybe it means what the fastest lap tires are, but they're not on the softs. Oh, they're not all on the softs, so that's a bit weird.
Perez on mediums now, isn't he? So they've all changed over. They're the current tires, which that's wrong, because we've got Alonso on mediums as well. They're all changing over. So
so it should be the fastest lap tires basically, because those are the tires where you have to set the fastest lap with. Not with they're not all on the mediums. Alonso's out on the mediums, and Schumacher, Hamilton, Magnussen.
Just listening to Ted's got news on Danny Rick, I think.
He's not going to get it. In fact, he's not out. He's not going to come out for the rest of the session because his McLaren has sprung a water leak.
Oh.
So that is it. It's an early bath for Daniel Ricciardo. And I'm just watching the works going on, starting on his car. The floor is going to come off, and there is an awful lot to do. So what have they got? Well, they've only got another few minutes, haven't they? So
10.
Maybe he didn't lose too much time. That is exactly what Danny Rick did not need.
Absolutely. So it's a water leak then for Danny Ricciardo as well, which has kept him out. So that's even worse news for the McLaren team and the driver as well, especially after such a bad start in testing. Less than 10 minutes to go then now. Lewis Hamilton, a watch on the circuit. 15 years ago today, he made his debut in Australia in 2007. I think one of the greatest starts to a career I think I've ever seen as well. He went right round the outside of Fernando Alonso, at that time the reigning world champion, in his first race, Lewis Hamilton, and took third and did not relent throughout that race.
Exactly.
So,
and in his debut season, 1 point behind Raikkonen in the championship. He was second in the championship in his debut season. That's incredible. You obviously do need to have a competitive car for that, and you got to be lucky to have that immediately in your first season. But he did have that, and he did immediately challenge for the title, and the year after that, he got it.
I've heard that the Team LH fans are saying that it was actually Michael Masi's fault that the gearbox failed. I don't know where that's coming from. I've had so many people tweeting me, especially from the Team LH44 squad, who have been saying F1's not a real sport anymore, F1's fixed, all this lot. To them, I say it was the actions of one man under a huge amount of stress who made the wrong decision. F1 is not fixed. If it is fixed, it's fixed by the teams between themselves to get the race wins, i.e. Crashgate, i.e. Multi21.
I disagree with Masi getting fired, to be honest. It was just one mistake. He was doing a pretty good job before that. But yeah, it just really kind of show that, you know, if Mercedes wants something, especially, they just get it. But it's not really fully that, but of course. But still, they did fire him pretty easily, to be honest.
It's led to two new race directors, Niels Wittek and Eduardo Freitas. And the return of Herbie Blash, which I'm pleased to see. The right-hand man for over 17 years with Charlie Whiting. They were the best race directors you could ask for. And then Herbie retired. Charlie did a season on his own. Then Charlie tragically died in Australia. On the eve of the 2019 season, Michael Masi was thrust into that position, had zero support, and now he is no longer in Formula One. I personally tell you my opinion that I agree he's no longer the race director because of everything that happened last season, not just Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi was the final straw, but I don't agree with all the bullying he's had. I never will, because he's a lovely, lovely guy. He was very kind to everybody in the paddock. He was a great help to explaining things. And personally, I would have liked to see him at least have some support with Herbie Blash, which Herbie's now come back for to support two new guys in the role. But I think Michael Masi was treated unfairly with getting the sole blame for what happened in Abu Dhabi. When, yes, he made the decision, yes, it was his fault, but you've got to account that he, in the space of 2 years, of 2020 and 2021, that's over 700 days, he had worked all but 4 of them. All but 4 days he had worked, and that was the 2 Christmases. He had Christmas Day off both years, and he had Boxing Day off both years. He had worked like a dog for 2 whole years since the pandemic, and it was not good at all. Yeah.
Oh, see Leclerc with a replay. Oh, that's Tsunoda.
Blocking Leclerc.
Oh, they nearly touched.
Oh, and Leclerc hand up, look.
Yeah, of course. He was in a fast run, and Tsunoda just didn't even know he was there. They nearly chopped his front wing off, but they went out. Still, though, about Michael Masi, I think I did see quite a lot of the time that there were marshes on the track at moments they shouldn't have been. So maybe that should be a little bit on part of the reason as well. But still, I mean, Charlie Whiting would have never let that happen because it's too dangerous. But still, oh, look at this. Yeah, this we saw it before with Leclerc when Branda was talking. This lovely helmet cam from Lando Norris.
What a camera this is. 6 drivers have got them in this weekend, now that the technology has been perfected, and this is fantastic.
Yeah, still should be a little higher, maybe.
A little bit higher. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. Great driver's view. They're using the Formula E technology as well as they hurtle downhill now as well. That is a tremendous view. And Lando using a clear white visor as well, so it's completely see-through. And Leclerc was on a low fuel lap and got held up by Tsunoda, who was on a high fuel lap down tonight. So that's what all that was about as well.
They were both on a lap. Okay. Well, that maybe explains it a little bit more. But that was under investigation, wasn't it?
Noted by the stewards. So
noted, okay.
Presumably we'll hear from something shortly for F1.
I mean, I'll be surprised if that will be enough for a penalty.
I would. It's practice as well. They'll be lenient with it as well. Everyone doing low fuel runs in this second practice session. Reminder then of the what we've got coming up and the commentary rota this weekend. We've got Formula 3 sprint race tomorrow morning. Cynthal's joining me for that one again. Free practice 3 for F1. Megan will be in the comments box with me as well. I think Josh Players will be down in the pits. Qualifying, we're all back together again. So me, Megan and Dad. Ian Birch will be joining us, and they'll be the same for the race. And, of course, don't forget about the F2 sprint race, the F3 feature, and the F2 feature. Synth will be with me as well in the commentary box. He might need a rest after this weekend as well for the amount he's doing, which is a pleasure to have you this weekend as well. I'm not going to expect you every weekend for F2 and F3, so don't worry about that. Because I know you're very busy.
I will try to, for sure, if it's possible. But I always make time for it. I always commentate on myself, and now I'm doing it for something, not just for myself. So that would be fun to see how that will go. I will try my best, as there are only 3.5 minutes to go for this session.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the race tomorrow morning, if all the paperwork gets done, because if not, I'm going to be dreading the race as well, is to identifying the cars. But it should be a quick race. Here's Charles Leclerc then. He is 0.087 down to Verstappen. So that's, 0.08 of a second off the pace, which is incredibly good. It looks like Mercedes are generally in trouble, though. Hamilton 9th with Russell 4th. And we... Sorry, Cynthia, I'm just being told in my ears. The stewards are, in fact, going to investigate something. I need to get up this on the monitor here. The FIA stewards' Turn 8 incident involving Leclerc and Tsunoda is under investigation by the stewards.
Still, I don't think they're going to... Maybe a
reprimand. Yeah. I'd hope so, because you don't want to give a penalty in a practice session. Or maybe they are coming down very hard on that sort of thing this year.
I mean, it was really close. It was really close to contact. As we see, Leclerc is going for a quick run now.
Swings it down through the hill.
No, yellow scooter.
Yeah, this is a slow lap. I think they're all on slow laps now. All the 19 cars are out on the circuit. Daniel Ricciardo obviously not due to the water leak, but they're going to basically run out the session for the standing start that we're going to have.
But do all cars have this helmet cam, or just a few?
6 cars,
Okay.
From what I understand. The 2 Ferrari, the 2 McLarens, and the 2 Williamses, I believe, are the only ones with the cameras this weekend. But I will double-check that, as there's the confirmation that Turn 8 incident involving car 16 Leclerc and 22 Tsunoda is under investigation. I think they need to increase that text size as well. It's quite hard to read. It's a beautiful-looking graphic, but they need to bump that font up a bit, maybe to size 16 or maybe even 32, depending on how blind we are. Up here in the comments box. Less than 90 seconds to go. It's been a quiet... go on, Synth.
If it stays like this, it does mean the 2 Haas drivers are in the top 10. Last time, in FP1, it was all the way down 18th and 19th, but luckily they now have actually done a quick lap. And also, more surprisingly, possibly, Valtteri Bottas in 6th.
I know. Bottas in P6 as well, and Zhou Guanyu down in 50th place on a 1:39.070 as well. So times improving there. It's gone completely in a flash this hour. 2 practices down. Friday is complete for F1. The first session of the year. Just another, 100 odd to go of sessions. 5 times 22 remaining of these as they swing back through. As Alonso still slows it to 1. Yeah, so they're all going to now form up, because the checker flag will come out and the drivers will have the opportunity to line up on the start grid and do a practice start, similar to what we see in Formula E. It's a new procedure this year. The drivers and teams have been asking for it for over a decade. Was that, please, at the end of the session, let us do full practice starts on the grid. And they've allowed it. They've finally allowed it.
Has that never happened before?
It's happened. Yeah, it's happened at racetracks where the pit exit is too dangerous to have practice starts. But this is the first time it's being allowed all season long. Checker flag is out. The session's over. Also, if you're watching MotoGP with us, you can watch all highlights of the practice, qualifying, and the warm-ups on Sunday's build-up. But just to let you know, if you want to tune in tomorrow live on BT Sport, because at the end of the 3rd practice sessions, in all 3 classes, they are going to do a proper standing start on the grid, all the drivers, to try and lay down some grip and clean up the start line, because the Indonesian track is so dirty, it won't clean up. They've tried 6 sessions now, and it just won't clean up. So join us tomorrow for that one. As the checker flag is out, the session is over. That flew by, and it looks like
there were no issues either. No yellow flags or red flags. Everything seemingly went fluently, except for Ricardo.
Yes, he's the only negative on this practice too. A good hour's running for everyone. Then surprising that these cars are as reliable as they are. All that's failing is a water pump issue, which is interesting. As the sparks fly, we had a red flag 8 minutes into the practice this morning. Not going to have that today as Russell completes his lap. And I think everyone now has roundabout taken the checker flag. Just waiting on Sainz, Zhou and Hulkenberg. And Zhou and Hulkenberg have taken the flag now. And Sainz crosses it now. So that's it. They've all done their times. And they'll do the sessions as well. Verstappen top then. 1:37.624. Leclerc 800ths off in second. Sainz third as well. And the fastest driver from each of the series, from each of the sessions so far, is a Honda-powered Red Bull power unit, and that's Gasly, followed by Verstappen. Interesting.
Yeah, and again a Ferrari 2-3.
Yes, again, just like an FP1. So Ferrari definitely a quick. Has Verstappen forgotten to practice start? Because he's gone straight to the pit lane, not to the grid. And he's been called to the weighbridge for being a naughty, for not being a naughty boy, but for daring to come into the pit lane as the, I nearly said Racing Points, the Alpines line up on the grid then. Alonso on pole position. Megan is currently having an extreme heart attack at seeing Alonso back on pole position for the first time in over a decade. I don't know. I think she's watching. If not, she'll be looking now. Away go the two Alpines. Nice start from them. Right, here comes the Williams, and on board with Charles Leclerc. Find the bite point, drop the clutch, slowly release, and away. Good launch there, actually.
And now Magnussen is in pole.
Say again?
Now Magnussen is in pole.
Oh, yeah, Magnussen is in pole. Right, first pole for K-Mag. We're not going to see him? No, apparently not. That's disappointing. As the number one on Max Verstappen's car now ends the session number one. So he starts as he means to go on. The world champion of 2021. P1 in FP2 for 22. Not bad. All this alliteration, my goodness. It's getting a bit much. Happy with that then, Synthol?
Sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, happy with that session?
Yeah, it was a great session. It was really interesting to see. And well, we still don't know anything, to be honest.
We've got no clue. Yeah, still.
Yeah, we know now Ferrari and Red Bull are going to be fast.
Still got. Oh, this is Yuki Tsunoda on the radio.
Yuki, do you think the front wing is damaged?
Oh, it's contact!
Oh, I touched it for sure.
Stroll.
What is this idiot doing, man?
That's a good question.
Well, I'll ask you the question.
Well, it was Yuki Tsunoda who dive-bombed Lance Stroll at the inside at turn 8. And a little bit of argy-bargy. Over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, he did hit the front wing into the tyre, so they did touch.
My goodness me. Not a great look at the session there, is it, at the moment?
Again, Tsunoda.
Again, Tsunoda. Yeah. Again, Tsunoda on the board, causing these issues. Okay, we're about to show the results, and the music will start playing as well, and we'll go through them all, and then we'll say thanks and goodbye to Synthol and give you all the coverage details for the remaining session. Sorry about the driver tracker not working. Usually it does. Hopefully it'll be working tomorrow because it's been having an issue. Right, here's the results from free practice 2. It's Max Verstappen the fastest for Red Bull, with Charles Leclerc second and Carlos Sainz third. A 1:31.936 for Verstappen. 800ths off was Leclerc. Top 5 separated by 5.5 tenths. Russell sneaking there as well in 4th. Fernando Alonso 5th. Valtteri Bottas 6th. Sergio Perez 7th. Mick Schumacher is 8th. 9th for Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen in P10. Haas back in the top 10. That definitely is room for celebration going into the night. Lando Norris is P11, Esteban Ocon 12th, Pierre Gasly is 13th, Yuki Tsunoda 14th, Zhou Guanyu is 15th fastest, Lance Stroll 16th, Nico Hülkenberg 17th. The two Astons not going well there, but great for Hülkenberg, only a 10th off his teammate on his first day in the car. Daniel Ricciardo limited with water pressure issues is 18th, Nicholas Latifi and Alexander Albon rounds out 19th and 20th. Right, we are back tomorrow. Free practice 3 gets underway at 11:50 once again. Myself and Megan Birch will be commentating on that one. Qualifying is from 2:30 as well, with the commentator challenge that's being filmed tomorrow morning as well, just after the F3 sprint race, where you can join us for that as well. I think it's at, what time is it? 9 o'clock? Something like that?
9:45 British time.
9:45 British time. Thank you for that, Cynthia. You can join us for that here on YouTube for all of the running. Myself and Cynthia will be in the box for that one as well. Of course, we've got the F3 and F2 sprint races tomorrow. Sunday, a whole host of racing. MotoGP, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1, and possibly IndyCar as well, depending on what the checker flag signal looks like. Cynthia, what's your thoughts on that session then? It was quite calm, but still, we've now roughly know a pecking order going into tomorrow's qualifying.
Well, from what I've made a little bit of a prediction, and that seems to be right with Verstappen at first, but still it's going to look like Ferrari is going to take the constructors. But it's only a practice session, but that's what I put in my prediction.
I completely agree. I think Ferrari are going to be right up there for the constructors. Maybe my pick of Leclerc being the world champion might just be correct after those times. Okay, Ferrari quick on day one then here in Bahrain. Verstappen topping the times in FP2, the ones that matter. Hamilton down in 9th, Russell 4th. Great times for the two Haas cars. Loads of surprising on the opening day then of a brand new era of Formula 1. We'll be back tomorrow for the F3 sprint, FP3 qualifying and the F2 sprint as well. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. My thanks to Cynthia. My thanks to you at home as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night to you all from Bahrain.